we go. All right, so it is rush hour, as in 5:46 p.m. on a Thursday in Los Angeles, California. And when I say Los Angeles, I don't mean the city, I mean the county, which is a very large county as far as counties go. Excuse me. And I just thought I would drive around on the 405 here, one of our major freeways, which is kind of like an interstate or a highway for those of you that aren't familiar with our freeway. Out here in California, got a reputation for having horrible traffic and being busy. And this is a fairly busy area here, this 405 freeway. And I'm heading towards LAX, the world-famous Los Angeles International Airport. And you can just ride along with me and let's see what happens. Traffic's actually moving pretty good, but in this direction, at least in this area, it does tend to move a little better at this time of day because a lot of people that are working in the direction we're going are now driving home. As you can see, the other side of the freeway is a little bit slower, although it could be worse. So maybe this is not too bad of a Thursday. I won't talk too much. I'll just sit here and drive down the 405 and drink my beer. I'm just kidding, it's a Diet Coke. If I were going to drink and drive, which I'm not, certainly wouldn't do it here. But don't do it anywhere, okay? Diet Coke is fine. So right now we're going through a city in Los Angeles County called Lawndale. It's a smaller city. I think it's only got about 20 or so numbered streets, maybe 30, like 140 something through 170 something. And it's so small that a lot of people who may have grown up in the LA area don't even know it's here, but it's here and it's happening. It's got commerce. Just a small town in the big town, or a small suburb. A more well-known city in the area called, well, in a second we will be, I think once we get parallel to that Best Buy sign, we'll be in Hawthorne. We might actually make it to LAX pretty quickly here. On the left is our diamond lane. Carpool lane, HOV lane. It's called different things in different places, but heavy ticket for being in there when you're not supposed to be. But some of these are now toll roads. This one's free, but others are toll roads where you can drive with less than 2 people in the car, but you got to pay a toll. And yet they still call it a freeway. See it? There's a sign there that says LAX Airport. We're actually getting kind of close. Yes, you also might have seen a sign that we just passed for Hawthorne Municipal Airport. That's close by. That's an airport for small planes. So not to be confused with LAX. Backing up a little more on the other side, as you can see, as we get closer to the airport. There's a big FedEx plane coming now. We're going to be getting off on one of the main roads that goes to the airport. It's called Century Boulevard. I guess I'm talking more than I thought I would, but I feel like I got to do some narration here. This is mainly for the people who don't live in the area that might be interested to see if what they've heard about LA traffic is true. And to tell you the truth, it doesn't look like it right now. It actually looks pretty clear by comparison. Most days, it's worse. Maybe it's because the kids aren't in school right now. So getting off on Century Boulevard. World famous Century Boulevard. Circus Liquor. There, they just got some free advertising for the two people that are currently looking at the stream right now. Yes, my car does have a radio in it, but I looked into it, and apparently even if I put on local news radio, I could run into some legal troubles. Or get in trouble with YouTube at the very least, so better to just keep that stuff off now. There are free things that can be done with these videos in terms of putting in background music and stuff sometimes, but I don't have time to work on it for this, so maybe down the road. So a little background, I used to work in the area here. I did for several years. I actually worked for 3 different companies here, and I used to take this route to get to most of them. A couple of them changed locations a few times, but they stayed around the airport. And that McDonald's up there on your right, well, I guess you can't see it now. So, well, okay, you can kind of see the golden arches there a little bit. I have seen that thing with the drive-through line so backed up that the cars are out in the street. It's a small parking lot, a small area for a McDonald's. It's surrounded by hotels, parking structures and stuff. But they really knew how to get that line to move fast, which I don't see at a lot of McDonald's, especially now. And I don't know if they still do. I mean, it's been, I don't know, probably close to 20 years since I worked over here. But I was always impressed at how well this McDonald's handled the drive-through line 20 years ago when I'm rushing to work and needed my morning sausage biscuit. We are getting close to the airport, though. That Starbucks used to be a Taco Bell. Interesting to me, maybe not to the rest of the world. Big building on the right, if you can't read the sign on the top, is a Hilton, and the one to the right of that is one of the buildings I used to work in. Okay, so we come under this bridge, and this is not me being judgmental or promoting anything either way, but this well, I guess now it's a, what do you call it, next to this, Wally Park. Okay, this area here used to be what I'm guessing is probably the one of the most famous strip clubs in the world, without having to advertise. And the reason I say that, and it doesn't matter if you're one who frequents strip clubs or not, that's not what my comment is about, but is because you just couldn't miss it. I'd see it every day on the way to work. It had a big sign that said nude nudes, not just nude, but nude nudes. I don't even know what the place was called. I think it was Century Club or something. You never saw the name. All you just saw was that big sign, nude nudes. Now, why do I think it was so famous? Well, number one, I did see it in movies back when it was still there. In fact, as I was driving to work one morning, I saw Nicolas Cage filming a scene from, what was that movie? one where he plays an angel in Los Angeles, and he gets, in this particular scene, he winds up getting beat up for his shoes. Meg Ryan was in it too. It's like Los Angeles or something like that. I forget. Anyway, but the thing is, this is of the main roads into the LAX airport. This is probably the mainest road, if you want to use that as a word. Probably not. And people would see it every day on their way to the airport. As they're leaving the airport, people from all over the world would see that place. And let's face it, there's a lot of hotels around here. A lot of businessmen come here. A lot of conventions happen around here from all over the world. Yes, I'm sure that place was getting some business, and they were talking about it when they went back to Japan or Greece or Germany, whatever countries they may have come from, or even just other states. So I'm pretty sure that place was world famous just by its location. But then that begs the question, why did it go out of business? Okay. As you can see, we just got into the line for departing flights. I guess we'll stick with that. LAX has an upper and a lower level. And I haven't been here in a while, but I can see what I've been seeing on the news. They are doing some work here. They're building a train that's going to go around. Kind of like they have in other places, I guess, like Houston, Dallas. Not Dallas. I haven't been to Dallas. Houston, I think Atlanta has a train. I'll be going there soon for a convention. Las Vegas. One of the most major airports in the world. They got to catch up. But anyway, there's a upper level, which is the arriving flights. I can't tell which is which. So this contributes to the traffic problem, is the annoying lights that just seem to stay red forever. Until you're going through. Then they'll be green for like 10 seconds. Well, you can't see it, but we're now passing another building I worked in for a few years. Okay, you've seen LAX in the movies. It may start to look familiar in a minute. Unless it was a really old movie. There we are. Departing flight level. Gate 1, Southwest Airlines. Everybody knows Southwest Airlines, right? Last time I flew out of here was about 7-8 months ago, and I can see a lot of changes just to these first few gates here since then. So it's going to be getting worked on for a while. And to be honest, this is not my favorite airport to fly out of. In fact, there's another airport I prefer to fly out of that's down the 405 from this one, about, I'm guessing, 20 or so miles. LGB as opposed to LAX. It's Long Beach Airport, and the reason I like it is because it's a lot easier to maneuver in and out of. Now, this place may look easy now, but trust me, it can take a long time to get through TSA or even just to get your bag checked. So I usually try to get here 3 hours early. I try to do that with just every flight anyway, but this is the inspiration for that. Okay, here is world famous Tom Bradley Terminal. Tom Bradley is a former mayor of LA. He's now deceased. They named this terminal after him. So if you're going international or coming back or coming through here international, you go through here first, or I guess last if you're leaving. I wish the traffic were this good whenever I'm flying out of here. But anyway, Long Beach Airport, it's smaller, it's a little older, but it's nice, and they only have a few airlines, but they're major airlines. Southwest, Delta, I forget who else. JetBlue used to be there back when it was first getting its start, and I don't know what happened there, but now they're only out of LAX. So someone dropped the ball, either JetBlue or Long Beach, because they both made each other better. That airport helped JetBlue to grow to where it is now, and I think JetBlue brought a lot more business to that airport when it was there. So I don't know what happened. Still my favorite airline. Oh, there we just passed the JetBlue gate. I have never flown JetBlue out of here yet, though. They don't go everywhere that I go, so I'm not always able to take them. But I do when I can. There, they got a commercial. They should pay me. Give me some free flights. I'm in your rewards program anyway, JetBlue. So we're now coming out the other end of the airport. Gonna get back on Century Boulevard and go back down the 405, and that'll be the end of the video. That ought to kill some time if you got nothing better to do. I must say it is quite refreshing when I see people use their blinkers, especially in LA, because that's just not as regular as it should be. Now, see, that guy, I was glad to let him in because he did use his blinker. Had I not seen his blinker and saw him inching over to try to sneak in, I probably wouldn't have let him in unless I had no other choice, which sometimes they make that the case. But usually, if you're not using your blinker, you're not coming over. Do the right thing. And I'm saying that to everyone in every state. Do the right thing. Use your blinkers. Avoid accidents. Avoid stress for the guy behind you, and maybe for yourself too. Besides, you paid for him when you bought the car. Get your money's worth. We're back on Century Boulevard. And I don't think we'll get away from here as quickly as we got here, because like you may have saw if you were here earlier, the traffic was worse going the opposite direction that we came. So it looks like maybe two of you have stuck around the longest so far, and that's okay. This is kind of a test. It's actually going better than it looks in my book. I did one of these on July 4th when I live streamed some footage from or the view from my patio, because I could see so many fireworks shows, both legal and illegal, from my patio. I usually don't even go out on July 4th anymore because I don't need to. So that stream, it didn't look like much. I wasn't expecting much, but then when I looked at the numbers afterwards, it's like, wow. Numbers were better than I thought. So we'll see what happens with this. I'll probably do a few more of these, and if they go well, I'll keep doing them. I mean, everybody wants to see LA traffic, right? Not. You know who doesn't want to see LA traffic? Everybody in LA. I've seen some crazy things on this street. One time I saw, this is sad, I saw a pickup truck hit this big old dog that ran out in the street. Dog got up and ran away. I don't know how hurt he was, but I was surprised he could get up and run away. Saw a Ford Expedition on top of a newspaper vending machine. Flipped around in the opposite direction of traffic, and I was trying to figure out how that happened. I mean, it was an accident. There were other cars there, but that one in particular, it's like, how did it get up on top of that newspaper vending machine facing the wrong way? That thing had to have gotten airborne for that and spun around in the air. Bizarre, right? Hopefully nobody was hurt, but it did look like a pretty traumatic accident had happened. We're almost getting back on the 405, and this is one of about, I think, 4 entrances to the 405 just along this street alone, which I believe is La Cienega, if I recall correctly. Kind of unusual to have that many entrances to the same freeway on one street, but it's a busy area and it runs parallel enough, close enough. Okay, this building with the black windows and the ad for, what is that, vodka? Tequila? Dulce Vida, okay. Yeah, tequila. That's a building I used to work in a long time ago. And yes, that was a homeless person's tent on the side there, if you happen to notice that. Kind of unusual to see just one. Usually they're in groups. Okay, now it's getting fun. Yep. It's slowing down. So if anyone's thinking of moving out here to California, to LA, I'm not going to rag on it. I'm not going to promote the idea either, but I'm just going to tell you 2 key pieces of advice. 1, if you're coming out here, come with a dream. There are still dreams to be had out here for some of us, and even if you don't achieve your dream, make your best efforts, and sometimes things will still work out for you. But I wouldn't move out here just to move somewhere different from where you're at. And one of the reasons for that is because it is going to cost you a lot of money. It is expensive out here. We have oil refineries all around us in this area. Multiple oil refineries. And yet we have the highest gas prices, or some of the highest gas prices in the country. I mean, I think some of you people in places are still complaining about, oh, my gas is $3, which I get it. That's higher than what you're used to. Up here, right now, I think it's still under 5 in most places, but over 5 in a few places. And I've seen it get over $6 sometimes. In our real estate, can't figure it out. A lot of people are leaving California, and yet for some reason our real estate prices are going up. And you might think, well, I'm not planning to buy a house right when I get there. Well, with real estate prices going up, rents go up too. So, not saying come or don't come, just saying be ready if you decide to, and good luck to you. Oh, and be ready for this traffic. Okay, I don't know if it's going to get in the line of sight of the iPad that's doing the recording here, but Elon Musk's pickup truck, well, not the one he drives personally, but what do they call him? I forget him. There it is. On the left hand of the side of the screen, you can see it a couple lanes over. Been seeing a lot of those. I guess they just came out a few months ago, finally. People were buying them. Why am I staying in this lane, you ask? Well, because I haven't had the opportunity to move over yet. And I consider myself to be a pretty safe driver, but also fairly aggressive when I need to be. And there's aggressive, and then there's asking for trouble. So, considering that, safe to say I just haven't had the opportunity to move to the left yet. There it is, and see, I'm using my blinker like a good boy. So if I do more of these, I'll probably do LAX again, maybe show the Long Beach airport I was talking about earlier, and downtown, where it's guaranteed that unless it's late in the evening, it will most likely be a lot more backed up than what you're seeing right now. Just going to downtown. All of that was actually supposed to happen today, but my whole day got thrown off schedule. I should have been doing this morning. Excuse me. some people watching this or just scrolling past it might go, well, this guy, he's just like driving in traffic. What's exciting about that? And maybe nothing. Just something to look at when you get nothing better to do. But I've seen some interesting things on YouTube. I was going through the shorts feed a couple of times the last few days, and I saw people actually doing the same thing. But you know what they were showing live streams of? Them sleeping. There's at least 3 people that were doing live streams of them sleeping. And I'm thinking, dude, if you fart in your sleep, everyone that's watching this video is going to hear it. Well, I was thinking a few things. That was just probably one of the funnier thoughts. But I guess it's just amazing what people will watch. We're in Lawndale again. If you were here earlier, you heard me describe that. No big thrill, I guess. I think it's a miracle that we haven't seen any accidents or aftermaths of accidents. I suppose that might be good for the stream, but it's still better that they didn't happen. That means less people hurt, right? And that's more important. right, so this has been a nice little test of this whole live thing on YouTube, and see what the numbers come up. The numbers come up with what they tell me. I've learned a few things from doing this already. A few things that might help me to manage this channel better and come up with more interesting content for you folks. So for those of you that have come in and out for the last 36 or so minutes to watch live, I appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed at least a few seconds of it, even if it was just to kill time. And if anyone checks it out afterwards in the recording, thank you for watching also. I'm just going to let it run for another minute here, and then I'll cut it off. So everybody, have a great weekend. Bye-bye now.